Service. This is Easy Boomer. It's my sports camera and unicycle, which helps me move faster. In a video shorter than 15 minutes, I would like to show you a place so that you can decide whether you like it and if it is worth visiting. Or maybe you expected something different and a trip here would be a waste of time. Today, Wrocław, let's begin. We start at St. Nicholas Street from the view of beautiful Garrison Church, St. Elizabeth with a characteristic high tower and a viewing terrace. On the left, on the pavement, Sleepy the Dwarf, one of over 300 famous Wrocław dwarfs, is sitting with his back. It's worth looking for them while walking around the city, because they are really unique. We enter the Wrocław Market Square because without seeing it, it will be difficult to consider your arrival here complete. It's morning, like in my films, so there's very little pedestrian traffic. The tenement houses we passed are named after fairy tale characters, Hansel and Gretel. On the left, there is a unique glass fountain that is quite photogenic. In the corner on the right side, there is a passage to the so-called Salt Square, with flower shops and a few more dwarfs. However, we turn left towards the town hall, but first, and on the left side, there is a monument to the Polish count, poet and comedy writer Alexander Fredro. The town hall itself is a unique monument of secular Gothic architecture on a European scale. Now, on the eastern facade of the town hall, we can see an astronomical clock, and in front of the Prejur's building in Wrocław, a copy of the historic pillory from 1492. We leave the market square along Kaznicza Street, where an astute observer will also spot a dwarf, or maybe two. On the right side, there are two unusual sculptures. First, a dragonfly looking at us from the building's facade, a little higher, and then a crocodile whose snout looks as if it were being lifted by a balloon. In front of us, straight ahead and on the left, are beautiful buildings of several faculties of the University of Wrocław. We turn into Grodzka Street and a more boring part of the trip awaits us, so I will speed up the video a bit. In front of us is the neo-Gothic building of the Market Hall, opened in 1908. It combines two functions, commercial and restaurant. However, we turn left to cross the so-called Piascui Bridge to the other side of the Oder River. We ride along the tram tracks, and in a moment we will pass the walls of the Church of the Blessed Virgin Mary on the right. Behind the church, we turn right towards the Tumski Bridge. It is worth taking a souvenir photo here. We enter Ostrów Tumski via the bridge. On the left, the monument of John of Nepomuc and the walls of the Collegiate Church of the Holy Cross and St. Bartholomew. We also meet a cyclist, perhaps a postman, who also likes to get up in the morning and probably wants to race. Before us, probably the most beautiful object on the route of our trip, the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist with two soaring towers. Beautiful both during the day and illuminated at night. On the right, the buildings of the Pontifical Faculty of Theology. On the left, the figure of Jesus Christ against the background of the building of the Theological Seminary is plowing again. In the foreground are cyclists, the postman. The race is in full swing. We turn right and we see a unique combination of buildings of the former Saint Hospital, Josepha, and the nun's house. We turn left and go towards the next bridge over the Oder. We enter the Peace Bridge and look left. We see the Grunwaldski Bridge and several university buildings. We look to the right towards Ostrów Tumski and the cathedral, but in a moment we will admire them from a different perspective. Meanwhile, in front of us is the building of the National Museum. Now we will go along the Oder River, along Zari Dynikowski Boulevard. On the right, the amphitheater marina. During the day, you can board a ship here and go on a trip to admire Wrocław from a new perspective. Of course, it is much more crowded and noisy here during the day. We end our ride with a beautiful view of Ostrów, or the cathedral itself, and I strongly encourage you to visit this place after dark when many monuments are beautifully illuminated. I hope that now you know whether Wrocław is worth visiting. See you in the next city.